Howdy, howdy. So, okay, I didn't, to be honest, I didn't even mean to go live, but it's live now. I was still fixing the light and the camera angle, but here we go. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so I bought this book, The Daily Stoic, and I want to read it every day, 366 meditations. So in a way to force myself to read it every day, I'm going to read a passage live to you guys, unedited, raw, Um, so Ryan Holiday, he's a self-help guru. So yeah, basically I'm just reading a guy's books and getting views. I'll admit that that's what I'm doing here today. And I want to post every single day, and I want to post all 366. Um, so what it's going to force me to do, it's going to force me to post a video every day, and it's going to force me to read this every day. And even if for some reason I have to skip it, if I know something's coming up or I'm going out of the country and I won't have internet or something like that, it will force me to then have to like read ahead and upload. So I'll read a passage, like the introduction, I'll just read a paragraph. So what the book is about, the private diaries of one of Rome's greatest emperors, the personal letters of one of Rome's best playwrights, wisest power wisest power brokers, the lectures of former slave and exile turned influential teacher. Against all odd and the passing of some millennia, these incredible documents survive. What do these say? Could these ancient and obscure pages really contain anything relevant to modern life? According to Ryan Holiday, the answer is yes, it turns out, and they contain some of the greatest wisdom in history and of the world. Together, these pages constitute the bedrock of what is known as Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that was one of the most popular civic disciplines in the West, practiced by the rich and the impoverished. Wow, I'm going to work on my reading out loud in this next year. Practiced by the rich and impoverished and the struggling alike in the pursuit of a good life. But over the centuries, knowledge of this way of thinking was once essential to so many, slowly faded from view, except to the most avid seekers of wisdom. Stoicism is either unknown or misunderstood. Indeed, it would be hard to find a world dealt a greater injustice at the hand of the English language than Stoic. To the average person, this vibrant action-oriented, and paradigm-shifting way of thinking has become shorthand for emotionless. Given the fact that the mere mention of philosophy makes most nervous or bored, Stoic philosophy on the surface sounds like the last thing anyone would want to learn about, let alone urgently need in the course of a daily life. Kind of does sound, well, to be honest, when I heard people, oh, I'm in philosophy, and I know a dude that has like a degree in philosophy, and he comes off as very pretentious. I'm going to try and fix the lighting here because I'm very shadowy on one side. Okay, that's how it is. My one side is going to be shadowy, I guess. Um, What a sad fate for philosophy that is even one of its occasional critics, Arthur Schopenhauer, I don't know how to say that word, what describes as the highest point to which man can attain by the mere use of his faculty of his reason. Our goal with this book is to restore Stoicism to its rightful place as a tool of pursuit of self-mastery, perseverance, and wisdom, something one uses to live a great life rather than some esoteric field of academic inquiry. Okay, so I'm not going to read the whole introduction, but so in the book, there is one for every day of the year. And if I look, so there's I don't know how there's 366. So there's oh, it probably has February 29th. That's why. I would bet that there is February 29th. Let's look. June. Okay, sorry, I'll get right to the quote right away. March, February 20th. February 29th. That's why there's 366. Okay, great. So I read a couple already, but we are on October 31st. Okay, so this is the first quote. Yeah, I see people coming in and out, so maybe this is boring, but this is something I'm going to try. And future videos are going to be shorter because it's just going to be me reading it right away. So October 31st, it says, "You were born good. The human being is born with an inclination towards virtue. Mustafa, this is going to be embarrassing. I can't even pronounce half these names, but I'm going to power through this. I'm going to learn how to pronounce these better, and maybe we'll see a transformation in me over this next 366 days. The human being is born with an inclination towards virtue. Miscellaneous Rufus, and it's in one of his lectures. The notion of original sin has weighed down humankind for centuries. In reality, we're made to help each other and be good to each other. We wouldn't have survived as a species otherwise. There is hardly an idea in Stoic philosophy that wouldn't be immediately agreeable to a child or that doesn't jive with common sense. The ideas within it go to the core of who we are and what we know to be true. The only things they conflict are the various inventions of society, which usually serve some selfish interest or more than the benefit of the common good. You were born good. All of us were made by nature, Rufus said, so that we can live free from error and nobly. Not that one can and another can't, but all. You were born with the attraction to virtue and self mastery. If you have gotten far from that, it's not out of some inborn corruption, but the nurturing of wrong things and wrong ideas. As Seneca pointed out, philosophy is a tool to strip all away, to get back to our true nature. Um, yeah, and I guess my goal was to make a comment about how each one, to me, some dude from the Midwest of Canada, can see some of this. Um, I don't know. It's like those memes you see online. It's like kids like the little white baby reaching towards the old black man, and like parts of the world racism's a problem, um and it's like kids aren't born. I feel like everyone is born good with good virtues, and that we don't have original sin. Maybe because some religions feel we have original sin, and I I think people throughout life, life turns them bad, or how they react to things turns them bad. And it's like children aren't. Oh, I'm so afraid of sounding pretentious, but this is me, my average mind, trying to make sense of some of these things that I'm reading. And maybe this wasn't the best one to start on, but well, it's about birth, so maybe it's the birth of this. So, like, we were all born and we all were made. I don't know. Like, it's just like when I run across mean people, ever since reading Oprah's book or audiobook about what happened to you, I did start to think like maybe that person's not just an evil asshole, or this person's not just rude. Like something happened to them to make them react this way or be this perfective, protective of themselves. Or like I know people like it's just their whole thing to try and humiliate other people in social settings. And then they wonder why they get invited less and less. And like some people like grew up in a house. I realized myself, like I grew up in a family of where like my mom made fun of my dad a lot. My dad kind of made fun of her back too, but my mom really dug into my dad and made fun of her. And it's like, well, she came from the family of people like to humiliate each other and this and that. So, um, and then I found like it was a problem with me. Like I looking back in my life, it's like, yeah, I like to people that were close to me, I would just really naturally make fun of them. And it's like maybe I associated seeing that in my household growing up, I associated that with this is what love is. This is what you do with people that are close. But it's like it wasn't there was I met some dude from Saskatchewan. I'm in Montreal right now, and he had a very similar humor. And like, fuck, man, I was just annoyed by him the whole time because, well, I feel like I have a bit of like I can bust someone's balls and then turn around and compliment them and then lean off and then go in and lean off, do a little bit of push pull as they say. But this dude would just like everything I ever did was like stupid and dumb, and he was better than me. And when he had a problem, he would talk about it. And then when I had a problem, he's like, "Oh, that's beneath me," because he was a camera operator, and I'm like a key grip slash dolly grip. So my department supports the camera department. So he thought of himself as bigger and better, and it's like something in his life taught him that it's okay to act like that. And so it's like we're all born good. And then, like, I think what this passage says is philosophy is a way to get back to the virtuous self without, like, being corrupted by the world and being a bad, evil person. And, like, not saying anyone's that evil. Like, there are evil people, but these little weird habits some people have that push people away or hurt others. And it's just like, dude, man, I've actually, honestly, this dude I'm talking about from Saskatchewan, I've never been more annoyed by a person at work. And like, dude, he would come in as a special camera operator, and man, like he would taunt people, and like it's just like I don't know, man, something about his upbringing. Like he could have been, he was sometimes a very nice guy and can be a great guy, but and then like he'd also be like the cockiest human being ever and put people down and taunt people. And like I had a and then it made me realize like some people I had someone like blow up on me the other day, and I realized I was like maybe they didn't take my jokes as sarcastic, and because maybe like I said a joke of like, oh, like some dude was like, man, maybe you should have avoided that chick, you should have just like, and I said a joke like, oh, well, you should have been a better friend so I wasn't so bored and hung around this person. And I, looking back at it, because they blew up on me like 2 weeks later, and I was like, I don't think they, maybe I should have clarified that I was joking. And because his original language is a different, he spoke French first and English second. So I guess maybe it's hard to pick up over sarcasm over text. And then maybe it's hard to pick up, especially over text and in a second, in your second language. Um, but it's funny because I think life's funny that way because I feel like I'm so. So yeah, I'm always like confused. I'm like, is life just random, or is there something pulling the strings where you are meant to meet these people, and some of these things are meant to be, and you run into people and they teach you lessons. It's like, and this guy meeting this guy that was a rude prick to me, I was like, oh, and he held a mirror up to my humor. And I'm like, maybe I'm a prick. Like, maybe I take things too far. Maybe I joke around and bug people too much. Like, maybe I go too far with my like zingers and stuff. And like, yeah, like, it's funny because a guy told me a couple weeks ago, he's like, dude, like normally I don't like negative people, and he's like, you trash talk people a lot, and it's kind of negative, but he's like, at the same time, it's kind of funny. He's like, you should be on YouTube, like, and then so actually, weirdly enough, that sparked me to post more and talk more, and a lot of people in my life around me, they're like, you have the gift of the gab, you need to talk more, you need to just get out there, and so like. Maybe some of these videos will make me look like a complete asshat, and I'm afraid of that, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. But um, if I were to be honest, I want to trash talk people like in a light, friendly way, like the way Cody Ko or PewDiePie does, light comments, like not really digging into people's souls and ripping them apart or anything like that. Um, so yeah, this was me. I don't know if I went way too long. I noticed people on the live are going in and out, so maybe this is not as interesting. And I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna make them 2 minute videos every day. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe I'll just lose massive amounts of subscribers too while doing this. Anyways, I'm Mac John. You know, if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about more. I think this is a good way for me to just kind of post every day. And maybe it'll just be a quick 2 minutes instead of big 15-minute videos. Um, yeah, but I do like this. I think we all are good and we all are trying to be good. So, um, and I think like it's good to remember that like we were once super pure and kind, and like maybe like I this is making me think of some of the mean things I've done to people over the years, and it's like, why did I do that? Like what was the reason for doing that? How do I stop myself from doing that? And that's what I like to do. It sounds so pretentious, but I do like to journal sometimes. It depends. Sometimes I journal every day, sometimes I journal once in a while, and sometimes I go months without it. But it's just like during breakups or like when me and a friend part ways, it's like thinking back of all of our interactions and like, well, how could I have, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I was too needy by texting him every day. Maybe like certain things in my childhood makes me kind of want to clamp on and have a fear of abandonment. Those are things I need to look at and work on. So yeah, I think this is a okay spot to end this. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this, so um, I guess I'm trying something new, so sorry if this was super pretentious. Anyways, you guys have a good day. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna definitely read this every day, unless it like really starts crashing and burning my channel. Then I'll like lay off. But other than that, I'm gonna keep going at this no matter what. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye. Boom.